podcast. Welcome to Bros and Cons. We're live at Milwaukee, and we're here with, yes, Mayor Ryan Sorensen.
What's up, guys?
Took time to hang out with us today, talk some positivity.
Yes.
And I'm here with Justin, my brother-in-law.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Bros and
Got
Cons.
another second opportunity to sit down with this fine gentleman, Mayor Ryan Sorensen of Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
We've done some TikToks.
I think we did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think the last time we did it too, it was snowing that day, and I think the snow just stopped. But,
There we go. We're
yeah.
snowing again.
Well,
Yeah.
we might have to do one for you.
Yeah.
No. What'd you think of the milk tea?
Yeah, so far so good. This is pretty good. What did I get? The strawberry flavored?
Strawberry milk tea.
Yeah.
Strawberry. I got the mango. The mango is good. It's got the boba. What are they? Boba beads?
Honey boba, the tapioca ones.
That's funny. I was watching a TikTok today, and this older woman had a boba tea for the first time, and she was like, "What is that?" She was like, "Eggs." So I thought it was eggs.
Eggs inside of it. Yes, we're here with Mayor Ryan Sorensen. Thank you for taking the time to
Yeah,
sit down.
thank you
with
guys.
us. Yeah, it's you're a busy guy.
Never a dull moment.
I know, and like a lot of times when I sit down with leaders, I always want to ask, how do you maintain it all? Like, how do you keep it together? Because I know I'm one person and I mostly worry about me, but I'm like,
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely busy, and I think there's so much going on in the city of Sheboygan, too. And I think what's special is we have so many supportive folks in our community who want to see great things happen in our city. Whether it's big things like, some of the housing projects we got going on, whether it's smaller things like, some of our park improvements of putting in a dog park, which we've done so far, or it's, folks who just spend time, going and volunteering out in the community. I mean, there's something for everybody to be involved and help uplift our community, and I think you're seeing more and more of that, which is helping move the city forward, which I really appreciate being from Sheboygan, seeing folks actually support their city. And
So now,
help us.
has Sheboygan, since you say
Yeah.
that you're from Sheboygan, so how, and we talked a little bit about this last conversation we had, so being from Sheboygan, has it always been this way, or do you see major changes since your time, in your youth here?
Oh yeah, of course there's been, big changes. Obviously, growing up here, I was born and raised on the south side. I remember, where Blue Harbor is now, for example, or where the south side Piggly Wiggly is. Those areas used to be very industrial. South Pier used to be coal fields, petroleum tanks, refineries. A lot of heavy industry down there. And over the years, we've shifted from that heavy industry to we've cleaned it up now. It's more recreational in South Pier.
Right.
You got Piggly Wiggly. That's cleaned up. That's a grocery store, another retail, and restaurants over there as well too. So you see some of those physical changes as well.
Okay.
Obviously, manufacturing still our bread and butter. Like we still have a lot of our large companies in
Right.
town that are growing and expanding and doing a lot of awesome work, which is still amazing. So you kind of got that core, business that supported us for generations that's still strong. But you also get that nuance of how cities do evolve and change and grow
Right.
over
Okay.
time too.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because like ball wrap
Mhm.
is one of those plants, and the reason why
150 years or something.
yeah, but the reason why I asked, because were you around when there supposedly was a water tower that looked like a tea kettle?
Oh, that
For ball wrap?
might have been way before me.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess it was built in like 1849 or 1889 or
You were
something.
hanging out
I know, not
So-
bad.
But I wonder how long it was here before they decided to take it down. And I
Yeah.
saw this picture at Myers
Yeah.
for the first time the other day, and I was like, oh, there's a water
Yeah,
tower.
I've seen it in a couple picture books and stuff like that too,
Mhm.
historical books. So.
Okay.
Looked like a tea kettle. I didn't
Yeah,
see
it's
Yeah,
it.
like
because
an actual
they
tea
made tea
kettle,
kettles,
yeah.
so that was,
So it's like
Yeah.
one of the big water towers that says, welcome to Sheboygan. It was a tea kettle.
yeah.
It said ball wrap.
Oh, I did not see. Now I know about the surfing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
The surf capital, freshwater surf capital
yeah,
of the world, or not
Of the
world,
Midwest.
Midwest.
Yeah.
There you go. Midwest. Mountain
Yeah.
Blue, Midwest.
yeah, yeah.
No, I actually, I was working at a restaurant.
Have you gone yet?
Surfing?
No?
No.
No.
I haven't, not
Okay,
yet.
no.
I haven't tried it.
I haven't either, but
I think as far as I got with surfing was in the Dells. I
There
got
you
on
go.
that
On that,
wakeboarding thing, and yeah, that was pretty. Actually, it was pretty intimidating. It made me think the waves out there are going to be a
It
lot
goes- it's
bigger.
going fast, too,
It's
yeah.
supposed to go, and I'm supposed to just be able to surf, right?
I think
Just
right.
go out there, right? Well, I'll tell you what. If you do it, I'll give it a shot.
That's on my bucket list. My
Go
Sheboygan
try
bucket
some
list.
surfing?
Yeah.
I actually met the gentleman an older gentleman. He had the whole book with pictures of
Oh,
them
cool.
surfing. And
Yeah.
I forget what his name was.
Was it Larry Williams?
I think so. I
Okay.
think he was an older guy. He came to Pier 17 when it was open.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And he stopped in there with his book and he was telling us the stories.
cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, there's some awesome stories about that. And the culture in Sheboygan and the surfers and everything, so.
That's cool. I always try to picture that, you know, being at Lake Michigan, because I grew up on Lake Michigan
Yeah.
from Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think they surf much in Milwaukee on the lake.
No,
I can't remember ever really
anything?
seeing a surfboard on a car, but when I come here
Yeah.
around certain
You got the
times,
surf
see,
shops, you
yeah,
got, yeah.
Yep, you got pro shops and everything, and I've never seen that. in
Surfing when
Milwaukee.
it's freezing, though, I don't
Not
know
your
about
thing?
that.
No.
No, I'm not a huge fan of freezing
Lake
water.
Michigan's freezing in the summertime, so
Yeah.
I can only imagine in the winter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anything you got,
And
specific?
Well, you brought up your age. Like,
You guys brought up my age.
oh, he did. Yeah. Wait, I'm the oldest one here. I'm pretty
It's
sure.
not 1849.
Yeah.
No, but I was thinking about that earlier. How you are in your position. You serve people. You're there to help make decisions to better an entire community.
Yeah.
And at your age, I was trying to decide what beer I was going to drink or whatever.
I do that too.
You know what I mean? But like that was my focus.
Yeah.
Like, how are you able to at your age just be like, you know what? I wanna go into politics and I want to serve the community
Yeah.
and learn because I'm sure you had to do a lot of
Oh,
studying
yeah.
and continuous.
Yeah, so that's a long answer. So, like I said before, I was born and raised in Sheboygan here. I love my hometown. I went away to college at UW-Milwaukee, studied political science and history. Always loved history and, government, kind of, wanted to understand it more. Got very involved in student government when I was in college. Became the student body president my junior year. My senior year, I became the chair of what was called UW System Student Representatives, which is the state association of all the student governments. So I was like the student government president of all the student government presidents, which was really fun. So got to do a lot of policy work, advocacy work on college affordability, college access, Pell Grant funding in DC and Madison.
So you've been ready to work
That's-
since.
yeah,
Did you start in middle school?
that's really when I caught the
When did
bug.
this happen?
So when I graduated college, I came back home to Sheboygan. Wanted to still be involved in my community. I was like, okay, what's my adult extracurricular activity going to be?
What college did you go to?
Milwaukee,
Yes.
UW Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah, right down the road. I was like, well, what's my adult extracurricular going to be? I said, I did student government. Let's do real government. So I ran for city council. I beat an incumbent at the time. I was only 22 at the time, so served on the city council for 4 years. Became the council president in 2020. So the council elected me to be the president for that term. And then in 2020, when I ran for mayor, fast forward a couple of years, I got reelected this year, and here I am.
Okay.
So, it's being mayor of your hometown. It's really special.
Right.
It's something that I'm really passionate and care about. Want to make sure my hometown is going to grow and still be a great place.
Right.
And folks can still have those great experiences to connect with friends, start a family, buy a home, recreate, whatever it is. That Sheboygan's still that special place. So.
Right. I like that because we're at the end of the day we're building to show a better way for our grandkids' parents. And the reason why I say that way is because it's the example we're showing for our own kids right now.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows when it comes to the grandparents, the kids get treated different than the kids before them. It's like, where was all that niceness? When I was a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think too, especially politics nowadays gets so nasty and so negative. I think it's so important now that you keep positive and have a positive outlook on life because otherwise that's just going to add so much more stress on you and your community and everyone else. So I think that's why.
We're not open. Sorry. No worries. Sorry about that.
So that's why. Commercial.
We
break.
invite everybody in.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what drives me. It's especially that's why I love local government. Is because you get to do cool stuff like this. You get to know your neighbors. I still know so many of my neighbors and business owners from when I was growing up here. And help do what I can to help them to improve their neighborhoods, fix the roads. Make sure that we keep our community safe, invest in our parks, whatever it is. That's the
So
stuff
what
that
is
motivates
one of the
me.
best comments maybe you might have heard from someone who knows you when you were Lil Ryan to Mayor Ryan?
That's a good one.
I want a good comment, because then I want to hear probably one of the funniest things maybe someone said to you that knows you when you were a kid and now you're a mayor.
Yeah, no, I guess I don't know like how to like verbatim say them, say it line by line. But I get the anecdotal comments like, well, who would like, I don't want to swear with the live, but like,
That's him and that's where
the censor's gonna bleep us off. Yeah. No, I mean like people are just kind of amazed. Like they still remember when like I was a little shit, running around, and they're like, wow, like I still see you sometimes. That's that little shit, but you're like. You're grown up. You're the mayor. You're running the city, and
everybody says go talk to the mayor, and you're like, oh, little Ryan.
Yeah, but people like, but I think that's the authenticity that people appreciate. Like,
right?
It's like, yeah, I'm the mayor. Was born and raised here. People remember me. It's the film. Yeah, exactly. People remember it.
I love that.
It's fun to be part of the journey.
It is. It sounds amazing because I'm not from Sheboygan, but I've been here about 4 years, and I've had multiple opportunities to sit down and talk with you and get to know you, on a more personal level. And I remember knowing the mayor in Milwaukee. Yeah. And I only went to school with one of his kids. That's how I kind of knew him, but I didn't know him.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the fun part about me is like I know a lot of people here. So it's that kind of accessibility. I hope it helps connect people closer to their government. So if they got questions, it's like. You don't have to schedule a meeting with me. They still can. Right. Like I'll bump into them at like the grocery store,
right,
or the farmer's market.
Yeah, and it's not a weird thing. It's not a hey, and you're kind of like, hey, where do I know this person from? Because you're in a new city and maybe been here 10 years and you're running there. So
so being like a city of our size, like that accessibility is something that I really appreciate. Like even today I was grabbing lunch, someone came up to me and like, hey, you're a mayor, like how's it going? Like. What's going on with this road project? Like in a very approachable way, like asking a good question and wanting to be engaged. I think is super cool.
But and a lot of times I don't get into politics or religion. I stay out of both of them. But I'm finding that people keep recommending me sit down with somebody and talk to people in politics because I think it also shows the connection there that we're all humans. We're all, and you're actually making decisions for a whole lot of humans.
Right. And those decisions don't come easy, and they're not made, without research, research and getting background, and things like that. And I think, like you were saying, we were talking a little bit earlier, get involved. Get involved with a program, get involved with some nonprofits, and things that are doing more around the city, because. The city helps, but the city can't do it all on their own.
Yeah, the saying is like it takes a village. And I think no matter your skills, it's like it's volunteering at like your kid's school. It's volunteering for a nonprofit. It's you can have a more official side and serve on a committee. Or it's like spreading positivity at the farmers market. Like in all honesty, like there's something for everybody to help be a part of this community.
Right.
Get off the couch. Get outside.
Talk to people, meet people.
I never even thought about that the positivity booth and doing that. I was so like when I started that, and it's still because I want to help people be happy.
Yeah,
I love the world I live in. I never actually thought about the fact that I go out there for 5 hours every Saturday and volunteer.
Because I remember when you thought about it, you didn't really think it through. I'm gonna make people smile. I'm gonna start.
Sometimes you just got to take that leap. You know what I mean? You just got to do it.
And it actually look where we are now. I just never quit on it, but it's the community.
Well, that part you didn't give up on it. Some people feel the pressure and they give up right away. When you start to feel the pressure, it's like, oh man, like 10 people said they don't like my content. I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
And even content like. I can imagine. So with what I do, I get Swiss cheese daily on Instagram and stuff. I couldn't even imagine. Like, in order for me to get through that, I have to love myself. I have to do work on me. Yeah. To not let that type of stuff bother me. Like I couldn't. How do you maintain your mental? Like, are there? And you've been doing this a while.
Yeah. It's definitely
something you leared, or it's something that you already had.
It's definitely baptism by fire. In that sense. You get some people who go. I always say like everyone's going through something. Sometimes people like to do it publicly.
Right.
And I think that's everyone's got to take care of themselves and their family first. you know, and some
That's where it
things
starts.
it has to, right? You know, and
It's so hard though.
I think, you know, obviously being the mayor for 4.5 years now, you know, you gotta toughen up. You gotta get your, you know, taking up your skin a little bit, because it's not you know, an easy job by any means.
Right.
But I think you need to look at the bigger picture. 100%. You know, that overall you do get way more positive compliments, way more positive
The
engagement.
Samoan keeps moving
You know,
the table.
yeah. I would say like 90% of the time things are going great. You know, but it's that 10% that sometimes takes up 50%
Right.
of your time.
Was
So,
it a process? Like when you first started it, did it hurt? Like, cause I'm gonna be honest, I cried some. It hurt my feelings
Yeah.
in the beginning. But you know, was it a process, or were you just immediate? I know who I am.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. Like, obviously, like, you know, it kind of comes with the territory, and especially, like, I think it's been a little more, you know, when I first got on the city council, like, there's always some subtleness of just rudeness, if you will, from emails or some phone calls you get to. But again, that's such the small factor of it. But, you know, it's been very kind of interesting in the fact that over the last maybe, you know, a few years, just how more exponentially nasty politics has gotten, you know, from the local
Oh
level
yeah, yes, all the way
national,
around.
you know, and it just, you know, sometimes it's just like, okay, like, take a deep breath. Like, I always say, like, they're not mad at Ryan, you know, me, the person. Like, they're mad at the system, the city,
Right.
whatever it might be, you know,
Right.
because of their scenario. And, like, you still, like, you sometimes you want to empathize
It
with
feels
them. You do.
It feels personal.
Like, and I get it. Like I know, like, usually, like their lives are being impacted somehow, and you want to figure out how to support them. Like, even if folks are angry and frustrated with certain things, like, I still want to help people. You know, they still reach out to me, whether it's, you know, they want a traffic light, you know, put up on their intersection, whether their roads are going to get plowed, whether they want a pothole fixed, whatever the issue is. Like,
Positivity Avenue.
you know, you still want to help. You still want to help them. You know, that's the service part of
That's
the
the
job.
human nature.
Yeah.
And I think that's really big, you know, because that is a clear picture of your character.
Yeah.
You know, like who you are as a person, even though you can be attacked, and sometimes on a more personal level, you're still able to maintain a certain composure to want to help.
Yeah.
You know, it's because this
You
is what
have
you
to.
do it
Yeah.
for. This is
It's
what
the
you
job.
got into it for. You know, and I think that's big on what you were saying as well, because at times you wanted to cry, you wanted to give up, you know, because people are just negative, you know, and going through things. And you know, as a leader, you got to be like, hey, and I get it from him a lot, you know, where he's like, I can't do that, Mr. Positivity.
Yeah.
You got to
Boundaries.
bit, yeah.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
and you know, and I asked you that, you know, about the character because, you know, I was just, you know, told recently, you know, that when things don't go a certain way, that you certain people try to act a type of way.
Yeah.
You know, they start feeling defensive, or you know, so I know in the role that you have, it's on a higher scale.
Yeah.
But being able to control that and still, you know, like you said, you want to empathize with them.
Okay.
And sometimes the position doesn't always offer you to do that.
Well, and I always remind myself too, like, it's not just me, the mayor. You know, we have a great team at the city. We have 450 employees. You know,
Oh, wow.
so like we are all in it together. We like all the staff, no matter whether you're the mayor, whether you're, you know,
We're all in this together.
yeah, exactly. No matter what position like you are, like we are all the staff at the city want to make the community a better place. We want to make our city a better place, and we're here to help. You know, so no matter what the issue is, like we have a team that's ready to go. You know, ready to support each other, and I think like that's how you know you're not alone.
Growing your support is powerful.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a
powerful
big thing.
tool.
You know, we talk a lot about that, you know, as far as like with the mental health and things like that. Even a mayor needs somebody to talk to.
Oh yeah.
You know, because it's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
Especially when you're out in the community and this person's telling you this. It's almost, I don't know, I just got a mental picture in my head. It's like, you remember Bruce Almighty?
Oh,
You
yeah.
start hearing the voices everywhere, and everybody's like, pothole, this, that, bags, carts, you know, and you're like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, you know, so.
I mean, it's a lot of triaging sometimes, like depending on the issue and how you're working to solve the constituents' concerns. But it comes from bumping into people, like I said, like at the grocery store, people calling, you know, emailing, writing letters, whatever it is. You know, we get a lot of different issues, a lot of different topics from all different areas, which I love, which is fun because every day is different. You know, that's where you get to kind of work on the problem solving sort of skills. You know, when you have those issues, or like I love the ones where you know what to do. You know, if someone's like, okay, we want a street light on our block. I'm like, boom, I'm gonna call this guy up. We're gonna figure this out. You know,
Yeah.
we've done this before. You know, we can do that.
Check
So,
that one off.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I got some street lights over by.
Hey, you know, we gotta figure them out. You know, call my
That's right.
office. That's what we're here for.
I'm gonna stop at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Hey, remember we were talking? You know? But yeah. So, any new projects? Like, can I ask what? So, what is the project, or is the city a part of that one that's going on North Ave, going towards the lakefront housing?
North Ave.
Yep, North Avenue, coming right before you get around the lake. It says new housing.
Was it where the hospital was?
Oh yeah. Thank you. Sorry,
I'm a door dasher.
I see. I'm a South Sider, so I was.
There we go.
I was blanking there for a second. Yes. Yeah. So obviously, we've been going on what I've been calling my road show. I've been meeting with a lot of our large and small business owners across the area. You know, and they've basically been all saying like, hey, we want to grow here, we want to invest here, in Sheboygan in the area. You know, Acuity, I think, announces every other year 100, 150 more employees that they add. Old Wisconsin is putting in a new shift line in our business park. So there's a lot of growth happening here. So obviously when businesses grow, they need places for their employees to stay and live. So that's why you're seeing a lot of housing being built all over the place. You know, so yeah, on North Avenue, on the old hospital site, there's some single-family homes going there.
So it'll be affordable.
So it's all across the board. So some affordable. We're on 13th and Erie, kind of by Burger King.
Okay.
We're working with Partners for Community Development. We've invested $3 million of American Rescue Act dollar grant funds for that project to build some affordable housing. We're working on the old Lipke Meat Market, the old Jacobs Hall on the north side. That'll be some townhouses as well over there. So housing all across the board is super needed. From single family homes to affordable to senior housing to yes, even more apartments. Our housing market, we're kind of in a bind right now. Our housing vacancy rate is 0.5%, and for a city of our size, you want to be close to 5%.
Right.
So that's people buying, selling. You have that fluidity in the market. Because right now, people want to move to Sheboygan. So there's a high demand.
It's a good place.
It's a good place to live,
place to
work, raise a family,
I
retire.
want that lighthouse. I want to make it the positivity, the smile beacon of Sheboygan.
That'll be the next podcast.
Just do a Batman.
But no, Sheboygan, like literally is a great place.
And I think since, especially during the pandemic, people were like, it shifted the market and some of the mindset where people I don't have to live in Chicago and pay 3 times the rent or whatever, and get stuck in traffic constantly. Like I can work remote, or I can get a good job up here and relocate.
Right.
Quality of life is strong. Pay is pretty good. And,
Sure.
We got just good neighborly hospitality, which I really appreciate.
Right. And if you got to go outside, to work somewhere, it's not that far.
Mayor will sit down with you.
You even look at Milwaukee,
Yeah,
it's 25 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not that far. You got a whole bunch in between.
Yeah.
Minutes.
Close to Green Bay, close to Milwaukee. You're still in between.
Yep.
A lot of great stuff. So.
And you can surf.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
You can surf. I mean, where else are you going to go in Wisconsin?
Where else can you go to a
really
farmer's
surf?
market and see
that has
someone?
a positivity.
That-
Sheboygan's the only place that has
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Nowhere else has the positivity booth.
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, Sheboygan's got a lot to offer, and with the housing, they did. So you mentioned with the jobs, when they add more jobs, they got to add more housing.
Yeah.
So has this must have happened like some time ago as well, where it just was a boom, and people started moving to Sheboygan and I say that because the house we purchased, they're kind of the same as like a lot of the other houses.
You
but they
can
build. You get like 2 choices.
Yeah.
Your doctor, you're moving to Sheboygan, you get 2 houses,
Yep.
2 choices of a house.
Yep.
So.
I think that's your kind. And I think we've been falling so far behind over the last year of not building the housing need to demand. So that's why you're seeing a lot of being built right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So they get caught up to the demand, because when there's a high demand for housing and low supply, costs go up. Economics 101. So if we can add more supply to the market, hopefully it will reduce some of the overall costs and make housing more affordable. So that's one part of the solution.
I was going to say, so what are some things that the citizens of Sheboygan and surrounding areas can do to help contribute to these projects?
Yeah.
Whether it be, I don't know, handing out flyers for the lowest end of it, but what needs to be done?
Yeah, again, I think there's so many different options, from getting involved with your neighborhood association. We have a lot of neighborhood associations around the city. whether it's, like we said before, you can like volunteer and sign up for a nonprofit group in your area, your church in the neighborhood. I think kind of joining those service organizations, neighborhood associations, those are great, community partners the city loves to work with.
Okay.
I love working and talking with a church group or a neighborhood group and be like, hey, what are you guys hearing in your neighborhood? Like, what's going on? What are the issues at hand? We had a neighborhood group not too long ago, and the folks said, hey, we got a lot of dogs in our neighborhood.
Oh.
It'd be great if we could have a dog park we could walk to. It's like getting in our car driving to the other side of town.
Right.
So we got so we
we
got some grant money, and we're putting in more dog parks all across the city because close to half of Sheboygan, 47% of Sheboygenites have a pet. Whether it's a dog, cat, fish.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's one licensed potbelly pig in the city. I don't know where.
Yep, I know.
He knows where it is.
I actually do.
Yeah, I
mentioned
bet.
it.
I know that.
Like, they got a pig.
Yeah,
I know.
So it's stuff like that, like talking to your neighbors, like kind of they getting the
That's an interesting statistic.
Yeah,
It's
and everyone's
that means
walking
you
their
keep up
dogs
with
or
stuff, you
something.
listen to it.
Yeah,
About 35% of that is
Yeah.
labradoodles or something. I see a lot of people walking like labradoodles.
Yeah.
Go get it. You still gotta, we're at Milwaukee and gotta maintain the daily
I'm getting a package delivered.
jive. That's right. Got UPS at the door.
No
and
rest for the wicked.
But yeah, no, it with the dog parks, and I think that the homeowners, that have dogs and everything around, they want to know that something is solid. It's okay to have rentals, but if it's open in the market for more affordable housing,
Oh yeah,
you're going to bring more people to buy more property.
exactly.
Because they're going to come here, they're going to rent, and that's something that is, it's, I would hope, temporary.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to rent for the rest of their life. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't want to replace water
But I
heaters. They
think
don't want to replace
that's when I
boilers.
talk. You want that fluidity in the housing market, so people have options.
Mhm.
Whether it's renting, buying, downsizing, moving into a assisted living, whatever it is.
Mhm.
I think you want those options.
Right.
So,
And connecting it all.
Yeah. So, what are some projects as far as like community events that you might be involved in that are coming up? Any presentations? Anything that
yeah. Obviously, we're getting here into the holiday season. So we have our holiday parade coming up put on by the JCs and the Christmas tree lighting,
Okay.
which I love because the whole community comes out and you feel the whole, kind of by the fountain, by the library, it fills up. I would say Sheboygan's feels like a Hallmark movie city.
I like it. It looks like one. It looks
know?
like one. You got water.
It's
That's usually.
Yeah. So I always love that. It's also really special this year. So there's a huge community event. The Hmong Association is putting on their Hmong New Year event.
Okay.
So that's the Saturday after Thanksgiving at North High. And it's their 50th anniversary of the Hmong New Year. 50 years of Hmong community folks being in Sheboygan. So that's going to be a massive
That's
event.
awesome.
So I think there's
That's, I'm gonna make sure I get that on the calendar.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna
I'll be at that event too. So
Okay.
that's pretty big.
Aren't they lighting? Do they do a light show or something before the park actually opens? I saw a post come through about that at the Evergreen Park where they do the lights, Christmas tree lights. Don't they do something?
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Walk-
the Making
it's like a
Spirits
walk
Bright.
ride.
Yeah. So the food bank, I believe it's the food bank, kicks off with the Walk 5K
Okay.
run, which is always great. Yeah, Making Spirits Bright does awesome work.
Okay.
You can drive, see the Christmas lights. They add more stuff every year. Bring up perishable item to give to the food bank.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's a huge need right now for
Yes.
supporting the food bank and the work that they're doing for
Yes.
sure. But yeah, no, there's so many awesome things in the community, especially around the holiday season, and
Mhm.
makes us feel like we're in a Hallmark movie, but also like there's opportunities to support each other. Whether it's donating food or money, while you're going through Making Spirits Bright, or working with a church organization to help feed the congregation or the needy as well too. So
I was trying to come up with sustainable food packs with one of the
Oh,
places
cool.
here because I had Kodiak cakes for sponsors
yeah,
for a
that's
while.
right. Yeah.
Coming up with things like that, to help. And if you ever want to collaborate too, I do have a foundation. Actually, Crystal's my coordinator now.
Cool.
But if I love helping. I'm usually looking for something.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, pros and cons are all in. You
Motivated,
know
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Real chat, all in,
Yeah.
and it's the same people.
Yeah.
Many hats. So, but yeah, no, we definitely we're on board with whatever you need, for some help and assistance, whatever we can do with our collaborative organizations, to be able to help out.
I think there's so much going on in Sheboygan. sometimes there's always so much going on, people forget some stuff. So just keep spreading the positive word, and being involved and active in the community, I think is super important. And supporting the organizations and the volunteers that put on these events. Supporting the JCs, supporting the food bank and the Rotary clubs that put on Making Spirits Bright. If you want to keep having these awesome activities and events, whether it's during the winter time, the holiday season, or continuous in summertime, whatever it is.
So what are the JCs? Because I'm new to, like I said, I'm still new to this, so I've heard of them, but I don't know.
So the JCs are they do Dominion of Terror as well. They do Brat Days. They do they put on the holiday parade. They do a bunch of other great activities throughout the year.
Okay.
They're a civic-based organization that does a lot of volunteer work in the community.
They're awesome.
Okay.
So most of the funds that they raise for Brat Days or for Dominion of Terror, they give back to nonprofits as well.
Okay.
So
Nice.
it's they do great work. Yeah.
They like it to us.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh, that's nice because I mean what we're trying to do, with we have a silver gloves boxing event coming up.
Okay, cool.
So it's going to be in Wausau, but we're having the opportunity to do the media and everything.
Okay, you guys gonna be the commentators?
Yeah, we're gonna do live podcasts and live interviews and everything. And but yeah, when we get ready to do that, it's we're just gonna give back, and I mean it's like just organizations collaborating and then just circling it around.
Awesome.
And that's kind of what you said about helping out in the community.
Yeah.
And it takes a village, because in actual villages where, you have, what's the word, indigenous people, and the way that their villages work, everybody has a job.
Everybody's got a job.
Everybody does their job, and you might not be a hunter, you might not be a gatherer, but you might just be the guy that likes to throw rocks at the wall. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you keep the kids occupied.
Yeah.
Everybody does their job, and everything functions properly. So
That's awesome.
I love that. I love that.
I do want to say one thing too, though. And we've talked about it before, and I want to bring it up, and I want to thank you for it. Sheboygan has been a big part of my recovery.
Awesome.
Like as a city, I'm not just talking about us talking.
Yeah.
Every day throughout the entire city, at businesses, the community, I've talked to people and they've helped me and I've helped them, and like the community, it's great, and the facilities for recovery for mental health, and the fact that it's being promoted, because that's where it starts.
Yeah.
The ripple effect from this, because that's why I'm still smiling, why I'm still sober from hard drugs and alcohol. All of those things is because of the community. That's the last step in my curriculum, community connections, all of it. You can feel it when I talk.
Yeah.
We need each other, and to have a leader that'll sit down, what we just asked, it means something.
Yeah.
To connect the community and know that we have support, like you said.
Yeah, you betcha.
Well, there's a lot of community leaders.
And I always
who won't
appreciate
hear
your
that
courage
from.
too, Koki, in sharing that story, because I think it's not unique. I think, when we all support each other as a community, so like that's what it's about.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise you end up with a problem that you can't really solve. And, we talked a little bit about that earlier, but you're just one bad decision away from a bad day.
Yeah.
And if we can smile and keep everybody, try to keep everybody in good spirits, then that's less people you have to worry about having that bad day. So and I think that just makes the vibe, the energy, because we all move on energy.
Oh, yeah.
So if you live in, that's why they call it the ghetto or the suburbs, because it's energy. When you can just feel the energy when you drive to a certain neighborhood.
Yeah.
Your mood goes down, your senses pick up, and versus feeling comfortable and safe and happy.
Yeah.
And that's what I get from Sheboygan. When you're around, when you go to the lake, you don't have to worry if there's going to be some craziness going on or madness. It's a good place to be.
Yeah, I think that's what a big focus of the cities. We want to have safe neighborhoods too, and that's where it comes back to. Like, it takes a village. Like, it's not just the police department. And they do great work, but we want folks. If you see something, you gotta let us know. Reach out to your officer. Know who your neighborhood officer is.
Right.
Every neighborhood has a designated police officer. You can check that out on the police department's website too, just to kind of build those relationships and that rapport.
It's on all of them a lot.
Yeah.
I do a lot of social media, and I see a lot of from the city, from the sheriffs, from the community. I see it.
Well, it's good because they're in the community.
Yeah.
They're getting back to doing that.
Yep.
A lot of, and that's a lot of cities around Wisconsin. Kind of fell away from that. I think I posted something about that not too long ago about bring back the baseball cards and a stick of gum.
Yeah.
Because it used to be where you could run up to an officer and say, "Hey, you got baseball cards," and they give you a
Those
deck
are
of
big
baseball
cards.
cards.
Yeah. I don't know if they still do that though.
Yes,
Now,
they
they
did
do?
during Halloween.
haven't
I
seen
tried to get some to give away too because I heard there were cool cards.
Oh, did
inside.
you? Yeah.
I don't want
I
it.
saw that come up
I think
on
they
the
had
post.
the actually that now that you mentioned, I think they had it for the canine dogs. They had the trading cards with the canine dogs. I don't know if they're carrying on gum anymore.
I don't
Right,
know.
right, yeah.
But I know they had some cards like that. I
Yeah.
don't know if they're
That's awesome.
I mean, hey, before we sign off, you got anything else you want to say, or anything else? What would be something? Oh, before we get done, I want to get back to maybe the most craziest thing someone said to you that knew you from your childhood.
Oh,
now
we
that you're the
didn't.
mayor.
Oh, we didn't.
Oh.
I gotta say who. It's just
Well, it's
crazy.
I don't know if it's crazy, but it's like all of a sudden you bump into so many people from high school. Like, hey, do you remember me? I'm like, no, not really. We went to high school together. Or like, my mom's the youngest of 9. I come from a big family. Then I bump into people I've never met before. Hey, I'm your second cousin. People come out of the woodwork, and I'm like, hey, how can I help you? What's up? So it's sometimes it's those experiences that make me be like,
Your
what?
second cousin, can you open up the treasury of the city?
What? Hey, can you get me out of a parking
I'm
ticket?
the mayor.
No,
No,
just
no.
kidding.
Can you
Yeah.
get me on the Ferris wheel at a cute?
I don't have that power.
Man,
I
I've
know.
been trying.
You've been trying?
You wouldn't
Ferris
even let me
wheel?
rap.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got a rock
There's
climbing
Ferris
wall and
wheel.
everything.
I didn't know there was a rock climbing
Yeah.
wall.
I did
I
not
feel like
know
we
that.
can get us on the
I
rock
think
climbing
maybe
wall.
we'll.
I was curious to go up in the pole and the flag. I mean, that was
Wait, can you go
seemed
in?
kind of cool.
Maybe I don't know.
We gotta figure it's gotta have some type of motors. to
We'll
bring
ask
the
a
flag
cutie,
up and
yeah.
down. There we go.
Yep, cutie.
Yeah, we'll get a Bros and Cons podcast live from the Ferris wheel.
That would be amazing.
See?
See,
That would be the
this
best.
is how ideals come
How many
together.
smiles we would spread with that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
you got anything else?
wait,
Yeah?
do you freestyle?
No, you do.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Can I give you one?
Yeah, what you got?
So you haven't heard me in a while. I do the sits off the top. We're sitting at Milwaukee, 3 drinks, waiting out a drop. Taro, strawberry, mango in his. When it comes to flowing, bros and cons in his shirt, I'm a whiz. I can sing or rap, it really doesn't matter anyway. Every day I get going, spitting out this wordplay. Thank you for sitting down with us and having a great talk. And all day long, keep smiling while you walk.
There you go.
Awesome.
You gotta keep tuning in to the next episode of Bros and Cons, and also chime in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, with your mayor, Ryan Sorensen. Anything you can do to help out and participate in community events, please reach out and let us know that you're possibly interested.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
This is the fun part. You guys rock.